Hey guys, hope you are well. Wanted to go over a couple things here. Shoot, I forgot my water. First is I just before I was going to do this live stream, I got a text message from my architect Joaquin in Medellin. Most of you know that I have a husband and wife team that manage all the real estate that I do in Medellin, Colombia. Angie is my designer. Her husband is Joaquin. He is my architect. I've been working with them since 2014. They're basically like family. They're like kind of like my kid brother and my kid sister. So he just texted me the finished product. Honestly, he knows that I'm really busy, and he knows that his job is just handle everything in Medellin, and he's kind of my eyes and ears on the ground. So if anything happens, it's kind of his responsibility to take care of it. And he knows that I hire him, so I don't have to get involved with the minutia. All I do is give him the money. And then I pick out the deals too. I pick out the deals. And then what we do is we pick out the deals. I negotiate it. I buy it. And then the three of us figure out a game plan as far as how we want the design to look when we get done. And then Joaquin does renders. Then all three of us meet for dinner. We approve the renders, every single room. And then Joaquin basically builds to the render. So he makes it look just identical. And then I just give him the money, make sure he stays in budget, and boom, we're done. That's why I can do projects when I'm not there. But keep in mind, it took me years to work with them to get them to that level. So anyway, he just sent me a really cool video of the after product, and I haven't seen the apartment. I only saw it maybe like 50% done. So it's been months since he sent me a picture because he knows I've been so busy. So he just sent me a whole video of what it looks like now, and it's completely done, except for the furnishing. Now Angie has to furnish it because I always furnish my apartments. But so we'll, as soon as I go over the Fed news here, which I'm sure you guys are interested in, we'll take a look at the before and after pictures of the video. I think you guys will really get a kick out of it. So if you want to just watch the part of this video that has to do with real estate, or the before and after video, kind of skip ahead a little bit because I'm going to go to the Fed meeting tomorrow in the first couple minutes. So let's fire into that ASAP. Okay, where did it go? Here it is. The Fed must walk a fine line Wednesday as financial markets hang in the balance. And guys, if you want more detail on this article or kind of the concepts of what they're talking about, check out the interview I did last night on the George Gammon channel with Peter Bookvar. He and I discussed this in great detail. And basically the gist of it is the bond market is starting to call the Fed's bluff. Meaning the Fed is like, oh yeah, we'll just let inflation run hot. Oh yeah, we'll just let inflation run hot, no problem. And in the past, when the Fed has dropped rates down to zero, that's kind of dropped the whole curve. But now all of a sudden, although the Fed has the Fed funds rate pegged at zero, the long end of the curve is not obeying. And basically, the way Peter says it, I think is perfect. And that's, the Fed can say they want inflation to run hot all day long. But the bond market is saying, I don't think so. We do not want inflation to run hot. See, if the bond market goes up, the interest rates in the real economy go up, that's going to crush, or potentially crush, inflationary pressures. So it's this interesting dynamic back and forth that the Fed hasn't had to deal with. So it's backing them into a corner. The key points here: Federal Reserve concludes its two-day policy meeting Wednesday with expectations for no change in interest rates. However, B of A said in a meeting will be one of the most critical events for the Fed in some time. Yeah, I would agree with that. I definitely agree. I don't think they'll do anything, but they're getting to a point where what they say actually matters, and it's not just kind of ho-hum, we get it, let's move on, like it has been moved the last few meetings. Chairman Powell and his fellow policymakers will have to convince investors the current policy is correct and won't change in response to a brighter economic outlook or major progress. So see, the needle they have to thread is they can't come out and say, oh, the economy structurally is screwed. Therefore, we can't increase interest rates because we know we'll collapse the economy. Because then it's going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. So what they have to do is they have to come out and say, well, the economy's great. It's amazing. Nothing to see here. Go out and make sure you spend those stimmy checks. But we kind of don't know what's going to happen with the cerveza sickness vaccine, or, well, we don't know. It might be temporary. So just to play it safe, we're going to keep interest rates at zero. Although, I mean, we could raise them to like 3 or 4%, and it wouldn't do anything because the economy is so strong. But we're not going to do that to err on the side of caution. You see, that's the needle they have to thread, because typically if the economy is doing that great, okay, fine. Then why do we have 0% interest rates? If the economy is booming, if the economy is amazing, well, then why can't it handle normalized rates? See, that's the tap dance they've got to work here. As a resurgent economy, percolating inflation, and stock market ripping higher don't seem to make much of a recipe for easy monetary policy. Exactly, that's what I was just saying. But that's the position in which the Fed finds itself. And here is, let's see, who's this? Bill English, finance professor at Yale. The basic line is, everything looks a little bit better. So this is what he's saying the Fed has to come out and say. Everything looks a little bit better, but there's still a lot of uncertainty, and we're not going to do anything about it soon. I'm sure we'll hear that, I said Bill English. They don't want to suggest that things are better, he said. On the other hand, they don't want to suggest that that they're going to change their policy anytime soon. So it's a tricky communication. Yeah. So they don't want to say that the economy's fundamentally unsound, but they want to say the economy is great, but they also want to make it seem not too great, because that would suggest that they would need to raise interest rates, which they know will crush the economy. It's just it's amazing that anyone buys this stuff, isn't it? I mean, you guys are rebel capitalists, so you get it. You see right through the nonsense. But just think of all the normies and all the sheeple out there that like all the Steve Leismans. And I don't know Steve, he's probably a great guy, but I always use him as just kind of the quintessential kind of, whatever the Fed says, the Fed. Maybe he's not in real life, but that's kind of the character, I guess, he plays on, or maybe that's a shtick on CNBC. So I kind of poke fun at him. But just imagine being that person where you take everything the Fed says as gospel, and you don't see through the charade, and you don't see the fact that this is all expectations policy. This is all just psychology. They're just trying to mess with your head in order to get you to do what they want you to do, which is go out there and spend money and buy risk assets. And just think if you actually believed the Fed was telling the truth, and that you didn't realize it was a smoke and mirrors game. It's beyond me. And it's weird that people just, even if you didn't have an understanding of this stuff, if you weren't like the rebel capitalists, like I was saying before, that watches my stuff and Schiff and Real Vision and Macro Voices, even if you weren't that person, you would think that if you paid any attention to this whatsoever, it'd start to something you'd be like, isn't right. It's like something here just doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, I need to look into this a little bit further. Like, you'd start to scratch your head at some point in time and say, wait a minute here. This does not pass the smell test. But I guess the percentage of our population that even falls into that category is almost zero. No one's expecting broad stroke changes. Short-term borrowing rates will remain near zero. Fed continue to buy at 120. Yeah, so the reason I put this in here is just to remind everyone that, yes, the long end of the yield curve is going up, meaning there's less demand for bonds. The prices of those bonds are going down. Therefore, the interest rates are going up. But let's not forget, the Fed is buying $80 billion. I know it's 120. They're buying about 40 worth of mortgage-backed securities, which, oh, by the way, is propping up the mortgage market. Let's think what mortgage rates would be if the Fed wasn't buying those the mortgage-backed securities. My point is, where would the yield be on the 10-year and the 30-year if the Fed wasn't buying? In other words, if there wasn't $80 billion a month worth of artificial demand. Everyone talks about, oh my gosh, the 10-year has gone up by 100 basis points in a month. Oh my gosh, that's such a huge move. Oh my gosh. Yeah, where would it be if we had a free market? It would have gone up 300 basis points in the last 2 months. What would that do to the economy? You see, once you start looking underneath the first and second layer, you see how precarious the situation actually is. So anyway, obviously I'll do a story about this or a couple live streams tomorrow when they come out with their announcement. So stay tuned, but that's kind of what we've got in store, kind of teed it up for you there. All right, now let's move on to some fun stuff, some real estate. To start, what I'm going to do is go to my a YouTube video that I did way back when I first started the George Gammon YouTube channel. And this is back when I was doing like real estate stuff. I hadn't even started the whiteboard videos or even talking about macro. We were just trying to transition from doing the TV show into this vlog and do real estate investing videos. So we're editing this in a similar way to the way we're editing the TV show. Not exactly, but similar. But anyway, the reason I want to show you this maybe 1 minute, 2 minute clip here is because you'll see what the apartment looked like when we first started demo. And I think we've got some shots of when I first bought it as well. So this is a penthouse in Colombia, Medellin. Amazing neighborhood. It's in an area very close to Provenza. And penthouse, so I've got the very top floor. And there's just one unit on the entire floor. So when you get out of the elevator, it's you. That's it. And the apartment is about, what is it, 2,300 square feet, something like that. Got great views. You'll see the master. I think you guys, those will really knock your socks off. But I bought this, and this is why I say you always make money on the buy side. I bought this for about, I just remember in pesos, 375. So maybe 115,000 US. And I'll sell it for, what do I sell this for? Probably 350,000, maybe 400, something like that. And how much do I have in it? I've got about, I'd have to do the math, but probably about 75,000 in the remodel. So 75,000, 115. So I'm at, call it 190 or so. And I'll sell it for maybe 350, 400. If I sell it, if I rented it, which I probably will, I'd rent this furnished for 3,000 a month US, maybe 2,700 a month US, something like that. So, okay, let's check this out. This is what it looked like after we did demo and some shots of when I first bought it. Number 9. You have to bring it down on the elevator. And this is from our real estate vlog. So let's go up there and check out what it looks like. And by the way, if you guys, this is still up on the George Gammon YouTube channel. So if you just go to the videos and sort by oldest, you can see all these vlogs we did. So the first thing I'm happy about is they've kept the, oh my goodness, they took out the kitchen wall. Jeez. So that was the kitchen right there. This is even shocking for me. There was a wall right here. This was uppers and lowers before. We demoed this entire wall to open up this whole space And this is now going to be the new third bedroom. As you come in here, here are 3 bedrooms right now. Obviously, this is going to be a master suite. We're turning this into an additional master suite, and this we're kind of leaving as a bigger room for either a bedroom or for an office space. Did you see that scooter in here? That thing looks like it sucks. It looks super slow. I just say that because I ride an electric scooter around. We did that for the vlog, and actually I do that in real life too. But I have an electric scooter. You guys have seen them, I'm sure, that you rent them on the sidewalks and stuff. But I bought a couple of them, and I bought one that goes 50 miles per hour, and I just fly down the streets of Medellin. I mean, I pass like cars going like 45, and I pass them like right down the middle lane, like on my electric scooter, not wearing a helmet. I'll just wear my like sport jacket. I'm like, boo! And the cops don't even know what to do. They're like, who the hell is this gringo? They don't give it. They don't care. And it's kind of funny, but that's why I made fun of this guy's scooter. And what's really funny too is he put a license plate, like a fake license plate, on the front of it. That scooter gets the official 2 thumbs down right there. What did he put a license plate on the front? Oh, I guess I talk about it. Oh yeah, they put a license plate on the front. That's hilarious. You never know what these workers do. Sometimes they can do some crazy shit. And check this out. They have started demo on the master. Whoa! Look at that. So no more double vanity. That is Gondo. Our toilet's gone too. We were going to leave the toilet. This is going to be our shower area, and this is amazing. I have never seen this before. This ceiling line just extended out over the toilet, over the shower. You can kind of see where the ceiling line was right here. I'm coming in today for the very first time and seeing it demoed, and seeing that we actually have a vaulted ceiling in here. I'm just so excited right now. Okay, so we got that. All right, so you guys can see, I think, there's some crazy edits there. So I got that. So you guys can see what this looked like before or after we did demo, and then kind of some shots there. Feel that money. That's Sebastian. If you wonder what Sebastian looks like, there he is. Oh, here we go. So then we go for it. So now this is other areas of the apartment, that master suite I was talking about. Here's Sebastian right here. So, okay, that's what it looked like after they did demo, and kind of some before shots there. Now let's go to this WhatsApp video that Joaquin just sent me that is the apartment done. Keep in mind, it'll even look better when Angie gets done furnishing it, because she'll make it look just amazing. And you know how much better an apartment looks after it's staged. But anyway, we'll look at the pre-staged apartment that I think you guys will really enjoy, and you'll get an idea of what we actually do in Medellin. I talk about it all the time, and I don't really show too many pictures. I don't show too many videos. So this is what we do. This is what Angie and Joaquin do for me. Trying to make it bigger here, and it's a WhatsApp video, so it'll be kind of narrow, but you guys can get the gist of it here.
Hi, George. So this is the apartment. We have already finished. This is the wood floor. So I need the small details that I need to install this door, but I install tomorrow. I need to put this small thing there, but this is almost finished. It's raining super hard in Medellin. We have the kitchen finish. We have here these things. I need to put some grout there, but the idea is to put this tomorrow. So this is the wine rack.
If you didn't understand, that's a wine rack that we put in there. What you're looking at right now is a wine rack. And then to behind us here, we're installing a bar area. but that's we got to still complete that.
This is, I need to fix some detail here in the door. This is the master room. It's already painted everything. We have the wood. This is jacuzzi.
So that's the jacuzzi area inside the master bathroom. And this was the area that in the video before I was looking at, and I couldn't believe there were vaulted ceilings. I didn't even know it because they were covered. So this is that same area that you just saw before that was just all concrete and brick.
To put some wood there, but the idea is to fix this week. We have the thing. We have here light. So we have this, the shower. So this is the other room.
That's the office where that guy's scooter was that we just saw.
This is the bathroom for this room. We have, this is the second master room. So ready. So we have everything clean. We have the wood. This is the bathroom, the toilet, sorry. Toilet area. The shower, so everything is fine.
There you go, guys. That is it. So you guys can do the math on that as far as a return. Obviously, it took us a lot longer because of the cerveza sickness. Normally, from start to finish, from the time I buy a project to the time we get done, would be around 5 months, something like that. It takes about 5 months to do that. And you get a renter in there ASAP. And so you can do the math on the return. I'll have 100 and, what do we say, 190 or so? A little more than that because we're going to have to furnish it. I'll probably drop 20 grand on furnishing. So call it 210 and we'll rent it out for, like I said, 2,700, something like that. After cerveza sickness. Right now, you'd probably get 2,000, 22, maybe 22, something like that, because the demand is lower, so you got to drop your prices. But in normal times, and that's not Airbnb, by the way, that's just doing a normal 6-month lease, something like that. And so, you know, you can do the math. We always talk about a 1% RV ratio. And so if you've got 200 or 210 out of pocket and you're getting 2,500 per month in rent, or 2,700 a month in rent, that's one hell of an RV ratio right there. And when you consider if you got 200 out of pocket, you've got forced appreciation of 150,000. That's why I always say, you know, people talk about these returns. They're like, oh yeah, I had a 20% return or a 30% return. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, great. That's good. And that's good. You know, if you can do that with leverage, you can do well. But I'm like, listen, I can go to a market like Medellin with no leverage at all, none, zero. And there's zero leverage in the whole market. So your downside is a lot lower. And I can get call it a 1.3% RV ratio. And I can make 80% or 100% or whatever annual returns. So, you know, and I don't even have to lift a finger. I got Angie and Joaquin doing it. Here's the lesson. If you were to go down there on your own and try to do something like that, there's no way you'd make money. You would lose money. You would lose money. You'd get, you don't even want to know how much money you would lose because you don't understand how to manage the contractors. You don't understand how to get a good deal. Listen, right now, if you guys are members of Rebel Capitalist Pro, and I know probably some of you on this live stream or people who watch this live stream, a few of them are, you know that in Rebel Capitalist Pro, a lot of times people will text me deals that they find in Medellin, and they'll ask my opinion on them. because I know the neighborhoods like the back of my hand there in Poblado. And they'll try, they'll get them for like 3.2 or 3.5 million per square meter, which is pretty good. And for them, they're thinking, oh, that's fantastic. You know what I got that last place for per square meter? I got it for like 2.2 million Colombian pesos per square meter. 2.2. And it's in the best neighborhood. It's the best location. It's a penthouse. Did you see those vaulted ceilings? See, that's how you make money. You make money on the buy side. Now, how did I do it? I found a motivated seller. And then I know how to negotiate. That's how I did it. And so anyway, my point is, if you're just going down there, you're most likely going to get your butt handed to you. But if you're a local expert, not just in Medellin, I don't care where you are. You can be in the United States. I think you're not going to get the returns in the States right now for obvious reasons. But I don't care if you're in Mexico City. I don't care if you're in Atlanta. I don't care if you're in, Dubrovnik, Croatia. If you're a local expert, you have got a huge, huge edge. And if you can become a local expert and then build a team around there that's incredibly competent, that you can trust, you're going to make money. You're going to make money. And another thing I want you guys to take away from those videos is notice that, I would challenge any of you to go on to, just like a normal gringo website down there and look at what they consider a remodel. A remodeled apartment. And you'll be like, oh, remodel. Oh my gosh, it must be. But you'll look at it and it doesn't look like an old school Colombian apartment, but it's like, okay. Kind of looks like just a standard cookie cutter type of apartment that you'd find in Miami or something like that. But hopefully what you'll know, and you would really get the impact, the wow factor, if that apartment I just showed you was furnished. If that was furnished, your jaw would have hit the ground with all the jacuzzis and the dark wood floors. And I don't know if you guys noticed the island that we do in Carrera. I don't know if he did quartz or Carrera marble, what he did there. I can't recall what we did in the design, but you've got that island that's at the angles. It's got the underlit, LED lights, and we do all the lighting around. And you guys noticed it makes it look like $1 million apartment. So what do you try? What's my point? Here's the key in real estate. No matter if you're doing $100,000 houses or $1 million or $10 million houses, you're not building a roof over someone's head. You're not building a house. Forget that. Get that out of your mind. And you're not renting a house. You're not renting shelter. The key is you've got to create a lifestyle upgrade. That's what people pay for. If people walk into the front door and they feel like they're upgrading their entire lifestyle, like as soon as they get in there, the gal is going to text all of her friends on Instagram and invite them over for a dinner party because she wants to show off everything. And the guy's going to invite his buddy over to smoke cigars and have a couple beers and show him how beautiful the place is and how well he's doing at his job and what a good deal he got on it. Oh, this is amazing. And it makes you feel rich. You've made it in life. That's what people are willing to pay for. If people walk into a house to rent or buy, and they just feel like, okay, yeah, it's just like the one we saw across the street, or yeah, it's just like the one that we just moved from, or something like that. They're just like, what's your edge on your competition there? Price. That's it. Just price. You're basically creating a commodity. What's the difference between your barrel of oil and the guy's barrel of oil across the street? Nada. So you don't want to, when you're in real estate, you don't want to create a commodity. You don't want to create just something that's just good enough. That's exactly like the thousands of apartments or houses within 5 square miles. That's not what you're trying to do. You're not trying to take something that's a piece of garbage and just make it look just like everything else, just good enough. Now you can make a little bit of money doing that, but if you want to make the big money, like I said, you've got to focus on creating a lifestyle upgrade, because people will pay a premium for that. They'll pay a premium rent and they'll pay a premium price when they buy it from you. Think about that. If you're in Medellin, look, every single apartment you look at, all the remodeled apartments, they're all going to look identical. Trust me. And for those of you who have been to Medellin or have been looking at houses, you know what I'm talking about. They're cookie cutter. But you walk into that place and boom, that's head and shoulders above the rest. It's not just a roof. You feel like you're significantly improving your life. Like you've made it. You're like the Jeffersons, right? Remember that show? We're moving on up, moving on up. That's what you need. That's the key to real estate. And with that, you insulate yourself from all the competition. You really insulate yourself from a downturn in the market. When you combine that with an apartment that has that location, and they ain't building any more of those. Nothing. You cannot create more supply of that because of the location and the proximity to what they call the Golden Mile and Parque Aras and the Provenza area. There's no more land. You can't, it ain't happening, right? So the only way you can build more supply is if you get further away and if you get a worse location as far as walking distance, right? And then to add to that, you've got the penthouse. So how many penthouses are there within 4 or 5 miles? Not that many. And then on top of that, you got a great view. On top of that, you've got an in jacuzzi suite. How many of those do you find just walking down the street? Very, very few. You see, guys, that's the secret to making a lot of money in real estate. You go online, you go to investment forums, and people say, "Oh, there's no way George can rent out an apartment for $2,500 in Medellin. No way, no way. I had an apartment there, and I could only get $1,500. I could only get $1,000." Yeah, that's because you got a big piece of shit that no one wants. Period. You've got a piece of garbage that no one wants that you think is a fantastic remodel. But it's off in Envigado, it's in Laureles, and you paid some general contractor that you didn't know, 20 grand, and because you tried to skimp around the corners and you've never done this before, you didn't get a professional designer in there, you don't know what the hell you're doing. And you're just trying to create something like everyone else has, assuming that that's all you need to do. And then you scratch your head and wonder why you can only get $1,000 a month in rent. Or you wonder why it takes you 2 years to sell the place and you've got to drop your price 5 times. See, people do that and then they think, "Oh, Medellin, you can't make any money there. I did it and I got my butt handed to me." Exactly. That's because you don't know what you're doing. You see, anyway, you guys get it. You guys get it. That's hope from this last, and I know this is really long, but from the last 15 minutes here, you guys have learned everything you need to know about the concepts of how to make a lot of money in real estate, regardless of whether you're renting or doing fix and flips. You guys just got a master course right there. And for those of you who are interested in real estate, hopefully that adds some value for you. So yeah, if you guys would like to hear me do more real estate stuff, believe it or not, I know a lot more about real estate than I even know about economics. I know obviously I know a lot about economics and investing, but I know even more stuff about real estate. So anyway, if you guys want to see some more videos around that, just let me know. Okay, I've gone on for 35 minutes here. So let me do some shout outs. We've got Maxie Mike in the house, Robert Eastman, Mr. Squaresville, Joe G's Craft, Cannabis Guy, Steph Q, Nick Baker, Tacticus, 1979, Kevin Glick, Jim Wolf, James Bunch, Rachel Norgrant, Brad Filmanowitz. Hopefully that's close, Brad. Shad Edwards, Wayne Smith, Mo Money. Yeah, in living color. That was the best, wasn't it? All right, and Dickie Dunn, Matthew Vaccarano, maybe. Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap up the computer. This will be my last live stream from this temporary office. Next time you guys will see me will be, well, maybe in here, but we'll be on my laptop because I'm going to wrap this up and give this to a good friend of mine, her 7 or 8 year old daughter. I'm going to give her this computer to do her homework on. So I got to wrap it up and drive it over there. We'll see you guys in the next video.